Now let them in.
Let's do this. Let's make sure I recorded this to my computer. Good. Yes. Welcome everyone for being here. So grateful that you're here. Let's get started. But before we do, of course, we're going to be talking about promoting yourself. And I want to make sure I scan you while you're here. So give me just 1 second. That was beautiful hearts. I love all your hearts. All right, let's walk up to the creative all that is and we gather the energy from the bottoms of your feet. Go through your space and see yourself in a beautiful ball of light. It could be any color, but take it up to the sky and the universe, the series of white lights, dark lights, and golden lights, all the way up through that jelly-like substance and into that tingly white light, that unconditional love to every cell of your body. Are you there, so Creator? Thank you for my life. Take a deep breath in and open your eyes. So again, welcome. Happy to see all of you here. And like I said, today we're going to talk about self-promoting, but probably not in the typical way that you think that we're going to talk about it, or that you're expecting. Today, I'm going to talk about more of how it doesn't need to be loud, but more of strategic. And it's more about learning about how you're really just going to talk about that. You know how when you like promote yourself, you can kind of like feel like awkward or maybe even forced, or it's almost like exhausting. Like sometimes it can be really to the point where if you feel like maybe you feel like I hate promoting myself, then this is definitely for you because I have heard so many people come to me and say, I cannot stand promoting myself because it feels so uncomfortable. I remember watching, and I do this a lot, as I love watching different posts that are on Instagram. I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this. I like scroll through and then I see like these cute little kids because I love kids. I'm like attracted to kids everywhere, kids. So I saw this meme and it was like these little girls that were on there and it was talking to this guy was talking to these little girls and would go through different clips. And the first one was asking about this little girl and what she loved most about her family. And she was maybe 3, 5 years old. And she said, myself, me, I love me. I just thought it was so cute. The way she had it with the little twinkle in her eyes. And she was like, I love me. And then it went to the next scene and it said, this guy said, so if you could spend time with anybody that you wanted to, who would you spend time with? And the little girl just smiled. She didn't even blink. She said, me. He said, wow, you didn't even blink. It was me. She said, well, it's true. I spend time with me. I just thought that is so cute because unless you really are taught something different, you automatically love yourself as a child. That's just a thing. You just know to love yourself. And that has a lot to do with promoting yourself. And that's part of this entire thing is about recognizing loving yourself. So I want you to do something really quick. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to put your hand on your heart. And I want you to ask yourself or say, I am the most important person in my life. Now, where does that feel in your body? Do you feel like maybe it's tight around your chest or your head? Or do you feel like maybe you are an imposter or it's wrong or selfish? Or does it feel like all of a sudden you feel overwhelming? Or do you just feel like that's true? And you understand the benefit of really just choosing who you are. All of those are just strategies that you had learned from the past of really just keeping you safe. And they were intelligent, but really as an adult, we're sharing our voice and it's about your business. And first and foremost, everything about your business is you, you. Because if you don't love you and what you provide for the people, they're not going to love it either. That's the most important part about this because you need to love you. You're promoting you, and people buy you. They're into you. Let's talk about this a little bit. What do you provide people? Like, what is the problem that you're solving? When you provide a business or your brand to a customer and your own business, what are they buying from you? What are you bringing? What are you solving a problem of when you think about putting yourself out there? That's what they want to hear, because when they're saying, what do you do for a living? They're asking, what can you provide for me? Now, this is sometimes, we hear things like, let's just be consistent, let's be confident, you just need to really put yourself out there and do these things. But really, the reason that doesn't land is because you aren't there yet. It's really just comes down to not discipline, but safety. And safety is a big thing when you're putting yourself out there. But let's change the definition of promoting really to not convincing or maybe performing or proving, but more like communication. Because if your communication is about what you love, it makes it so much easier. I'm sure you've had products where you've found something that you absolutely love. You're like, oh, I found this, I love this. You go talk about it, and now we're not talking about your own business or whatever. We're talking about something else, and you go tell your friends, your family, your spouse, and you're not getting paid to do it, but you go talk about it so easy, and it just rolls off your tongue. Like, but when you think about your business and you talk about yourself, is it uncomfortable? Is it hard? Do you feel like you're selling yourself? Are you? Are you really selling yourself? Or are you able to actually just be the exact same way? Like, here I am, this is who I am. Because it's all that's really communicating is that excitement that you have with who you are. This is what I have, this is what I bring. And that's the authenticity that people can feel when you're talking about you. And if it feels like you're justifying your worth, then really you're just looking outside of yourself for validation, and no one can give you that. The only place that you can get that is right in here, right inside you. And I know that gets said a lot, and people say that, but it's really true because that's the only place that it comes from. When we talk about communication, are you over explaining yourself in a way that takes away from your authority? What I mean is, do you feel like you have to make such an impression that people like you? Or do you recognize that everybody's not going to like you? That's your authenticity. It's okay that everybody doesn't like you. Your job isn't to make everybody like you, because then you're losing aspects about you. And you're not, and then you carry the weight of how everybody feels and the way that you speak, and you're changing everything about you. I remember that my girlfriend, she sent me something on Instagram, just, I don't know, maybe a couple days ago. But it was this guy. He is so fun. He is this workout guy. He has this, he basically shows you how to get in shape with your glutes. And he wears these really, really short shorts, and they're very tight. And he kind of shakes his tush a little bit, and he'll talk about how great he is. But he came on and he said, do you think I really care whether or not people like me or not? He says, look at me. Do I look like I really care what people think about? He's like, no, I learned a long time ago that it doesn't matter what people think about me. He was wearing a pink hat. He said, look, you can think about me in these tight shorts. Oh man, that guy in those tight shorts. Oh man, he's probably gay. Whatever it is that they were saying, it didn't matter, because he didn't care. He said, listen, I'm authentic and I'm my true self. And I love what I do. I get up every single day and I love feeling how happy I am, because that's all that matters. I learned a long time ago that I just push everybody else's stuff aside because I get to be me. And I just thought that was so beautiful, because it's absolutely true. Does it really matter what anybody thinks? Because life's too short. You just get to be you. Put yourself out there and be you, because when we refuse to allow ourselves to really show up and be our authentic selves and not and not in promotion, then it becomes that self-abandonment. Refusing to be ourselves is self-abandonment. And we don't really thrive when we get into that survival mode. We just don't. None of us. And the most asked question that I get is like, how do I stay seen and still be myself? Because, as we're all intuitive and we pick up on the things that are around us and we want to be heard, felt, seen, and still be able to promote and still get clients and still whatever it is. How do you still say yourself and not sell yourself out to other people when they say something different? Like, oh, you should do this, or oh, you should do that. Every person is running a pattern. We all do it. We have patterns that we create, emotional responses, and that emotional response drives a behavior, and the behavior produces results. Now, depending on your experience that you've had with visibility, determines on really how you deal with pressure surrounding it. If being visible really just triggers that pressure response that's around you that makes you feel exposed, you will choose protection over expression every single time because it makes you feel safe. So when you do post, then you overthink it. This is the example of it. And then you require, let's say that you do things like, I don't know if you've ever done this, but you write something out and then you like rewrite it 10 or 12 times, even if you have ChatGPT, or you write the perfect post in one moment and then you put it out there and then you draw it back and you like retract it. Those things are where you feel like you have to protect yourself rather than expressing yourself. Those are all just signs, and that's just information giving you about the way that you handle pressure that is surrounding really showing yourself and being out there and being seen. And none of these are wrong. It's just regulation. And so here's the shift. We start really asking ourselves to stop overriding that fear. And we start learning to really trust ourselves. Promoting yourself isn't about being everywhere. It's about creating almost like a moment or moments that can be inspiring about your brand and you in conversations. Because your audience and your customers, they will do the rest. Think about how many times you've heard about any other product. I mean, listen to about what I just talked about earlier. The guy with the short shorts. He got promoted today. Why? Because he was authentically himself. Same thing, the exact same thing. And the goal here isn't to be impressive, it's to be true, truly yourself, but with boundaries. Let's make that clear, with boundaries, rather than being over available. Now, going hand in hand with this really is more about also emotional authority. And emotional authority that just means trusting your inner signal that you can just let things stand out on their own. That means no chasing, no softening to make other people comfortable, and no defining. Those things are all really big things when it comes to making sure that you stand in that emotional understanding of yourself. The first way that you can really just create community around yourself to promote yourself and your business starts with that authenticity and clarity. Not charisma, there's a difference. Totally difference. People don't really trust that, what is that, polished. They trust coherence. And when you do what you do and you help the people the way you do it, you're not selling, you're being you. Secondly, repetition is service. And not everyone is on social media because they don't even see your post or even are ready to even see your post. But if you're repeating yourself over and over, it might get so annoying to you about your business. But honestly, it's almost like a generous thing to do because it's helping them. Then you're also anchoring in what it is that you do. Third, boundaries create respect. When you're always available, You are not valuable. I'm going to let that land. Let me say it again. When you are always available, you are not valuable. Your work all of a sudden becomes less important, that you lose shape. And when you have that structure, people really just feel that safe engagement. You kind of feel like home to them. They know it. They can see it. It's there. Authenticity is more of that promoting yourself, but it's not loud. It's not, it's steady. It takes a look at what people need. So you're telling them not what they want you to do, but what you can provide for them. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. That's what people are asking when they're saying, what do you do for a living? I help people recognize how the pressure, how to react with pressure through emotions, through patterns, through behavior loops, and how to respond differently. Then I'm giving them a benefit there. Then they ask, well, how do I do that? How does that look? Through awareness, decision making, pattern recognition, and attunement metrics. Now, in real time. Well, that gives something that helps them recognize how I let them make the choice afterwards. Like, is this something that works for you? Is this something that you want? And you just let it be. You stop right there. Let it go. That's when they get to make choice. So let's make this practical. Right now, I want you to imagine saying this sentence out loud. I help people. What do you do? I want you to think of the problem that you're solving. What do you do? You can even close your eyes. I help people. And then notice where it lands in your body. Is there pressure? Do you feel an extra urge to explain? That's information. That's not failure. That just tells you something about you. Now I want you to try something else instead. I want you to say, I work with people who want this. What are you providing? This. Does that feel differently? Clarity really just reduces that pressure. Now, here's one simple act that you can try this week. I want you to share just one true sentence, not a pitch, not a performance, just something honest about your work and your perspective, and then stop. No over-explaining, no justifying, no engaging. Just let that presence work for you. Just you be you. And then let people choose. And I want to close with this. If this webinar resonated with you, it's not because you need more marketing. It's because you're ready for a different relationship with visibility, really. That's it. And one that you don't have to force yourself to really just be something that you're not, where you're not disappearing afterwards, where you're not falling into other people's energy, where you get to be yourself, where your nervous system doesn't feel taxed. Those things are huge. And of course, if you'd like support, I'm always there. I work with people with visibility and people who are done providing and are ready to and improving themselves and are really there to be clear. If that's not you, that's fine. That's something that you learned tonight, and we can move forward to understand how to be kind with ourselves, really, truly kind. You don't need to become someone different to be seen. You just need to be yourself. Understand that you are enough. And that's the most important part about promoting yourself. You. No one can be you. And I'm so glad you got to join me tonight. And I'm really grateful for all the people that were here and the interpreters. Thank you, interpreters. You're amazing. That was a lot of fun. And I guess you can't come on because you guys are on your interpreters. I understand. So thank you very much. I hope you have a fabulous day, evening, whatever it is, remember to promote yourself. We'll be looking for each other, and we'll be doing this again next month, so look for us. Thanks for all that you do. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.